Fucker.
Take two.
Damn you, Go Game Go.
Oh, an all-time classic from Papa Pete, and that's what was in the box. Captain Kirk,
Captain Kirk.
of all people.
Okay, there's my 80s hair look. There you go. I'm ready
Is
for
there
my photos now.
I assume there's a Spock Funko Pop. Pete?
There is. Oh, I think it's more than one. Here's a Spock one with the beard, so it's the evil Spock.
Ooh, Spock's beard.
Spock with the goatee.
We just watched that episode where they were all.
Oh yeah,
the parallel universe. They're all mean.
Exactly.
Oh, that was pretty good. Hey, we got Pete here. We've got Lance. We got Bar. Bar is the first time he's been back in a long time. He was serving a suspension. He's back now. Great. We'll see how it goes, Bar.
Oh,
We'll see if he can make it the whole time.
I've only been threatened with the timeout for Pete's sakes. What the hell did you say?
Yeah, what did he do? Yeah.
Well, that's the deal. You have Pete's sake, so you know.
There you go.
We got Jerome here. PJ's here. Kurt Bradshaw.
Hey, Kurt.
Salvatore's here.
Salvatore.
There you go.
Camaro's here.
Camaro.
My video is not good tonight because my upload speed is so terrible right now, but hopefully everyone else's is fine.
And Casey.
I can't believe it. Why?
Casey
It's
came
so
in.
bad.
Let's see. Yep.
Oh, what do you got there?
It was a
Ooh.
10 movie set. That was part of my homework assignment.
Well,
I
that's cool.
almost ordered that.
I think it was like with tax $30 on eBay.
Oh, wow.
$30 on eBay?
Mm-hmm. Brand new.
I was gonna say,
Yeah,
what
but
is
he's
it
got a
on
new picture?
Amazon? It's pretty cheap there, isn't it?
I don't know.
Because I was looking it up the other day. That's why I almost maybe it's like $40.
So has everyone seen the original 6 movies?
Yes.
I mean,
Everyone's seen
yeah.
Next Generation movies? There's what, 4 of them?
4.
yeah, for
I think I've seen
And then has anyone seen all 3 of the new ones? I've seen 2 of them.
I own them.
2.
I haven't seen that 3rd one. I think there's a 4th one next year, I believe.
I think that's right. And I don't know. The first one was pretty good. I was cool with the first one, and then the second one seemed long.
It probably was. First one was pretty long itself,
Yeah,
over 2 hours.
but it was a lot of fun though, getting reacquainted with new people playing the characters, especially when you have Carl Urban is playing, Bones. I thought he did a great job. I love watching Carl Urban in movies.
The first reboot movie where they were showing how they all got together.
Yeah,
Did I miss something in some of the other Star Trek shows? What was the deal with Spock messing around with Uhura? I don't get it.
that was a new thing, wasn't it? Just for that.
Okay, I thought maybe I missed something because I was like, "What is happening? This doesn't even make sense." I don't know why they threw that in there. Such an odd thing.
yeah.
There's Pete with a. Did you guys see the documentary about Spock where he said where that came from? His little hand gesture.
No.
His little hand gesture.
Well, he's Jewish, and he said in the temple they had I don't know if it was a picture up there of was this, and he said that this is the symbol for I don't know, some kind of word in Hebrew, and
Piss off.
and that's where they got it from, or that's where he suggested the episode when he went back to Vulcan for the first time. He suggested they have a
Neat.
he suggested they have some kind of a greeting, so he's made that.
Huh.
Power up time.
Wild.
Space Invader, I say.
Ooh.
Right there.
Oh, dude, look at you.
Look at my camera's backwards.
It's fine here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
it.
okay.
Yeah, you must have like that reverse thing on. That Christine's always like, you should put the reverse thing, but I don't know if it makes you see everything in reverse. I don't know.
I don't know. Does that help for the pointing? The reverse thing?
Well,
Because you never know
Jerome
which
wound up
way.
messing
Oh,
with her.
Well, that does work better. I can point. Lance?
You're right. You know where you're pointing.
You got that all wrong.
I bet you've never even kissed a woman.
Does that look wrong to you? Fire? Lance?
Yes.
You look wrong to
backwards.
me.
Yeah.
Coco looks
It's Lance
fine.
right there.
You look
I can
wrong.
see Lance.
over here.
Pointing at Lance.
Lance is
That
over
way.
here.
That's
How
so
many-
weird because what I see is that I'm pointing at Lance. That's really strange.
How many of those Space Invaders
Well-
have you had already, Pete?
Far back
This is
there.
number one.
Pete.
Well, does Galaxy Quest count as a Star Trek movie? I've asked that before.
It counts as a definitely influenced by.
That's better than some of these. Oh boy.
What are those? The new ones?
Yeah, those are the new ones. Into Darkness and then Beyond. So Beyond was okay. Beyond, I don't know why. It had kind of a hokey feeling about it.
Is that the second one?
The third one.
Third one?
Yeah. Into Darkness is the one with Nuno Betancourt is playing Khan. Not Nuno Betancourt. I'm having fun with that, people. Nuno Betancourt is a guitar player for Extreme.
He's
Fire. Lance. Stuart.
Yes. Yes.
Jeff. Okay, we figured it out. I had the mirror effect on. Yep. But now it's confusing to point because I'm looking at Lance, like at the screen. I'm looking at there. No. There's
So-
Yeah.
So this leads me to ask
other
a quick question. So if you bumped into Spock and he had a little bit of cake right here on his face, would you point to the wrong side when you're looking at him? Or would you do the same side? Because he's very
On his
logical.
back.
So what would you do?
I just say, clean your face. You got a speck, Spock.
nice.
Get the hell over here, mother trucker. I got to get that crap off your face.
Junebug, you haven't missed anything yet, so don't worry.
And then you'd be like, what the hell? You have pointy ears. That's so cool. Is it the beer or do you have pointed ears?
I did notice on the first reboot where they were introducing everyone that Chekhov was in it. And of course, he didn't show up until season 2 of the TV show.
So this is a big point of contention, right?
So there's a plot hole right
There's a,
Mhm.
that's like something you could call somebody right there, Jeff, without getting in trouble. You plot hole.
there.
Well,
By the way, Chekhov, I don't know what the deal's with him. Every episode he's been on so far in the TV show, he's got a different wig on. I don't know what's happening. Sometimes he's got this huge wig. He looks like the Great Gazoo. I don't know how did they give.
That's
Oh, I'm so
that's a
lagging. How did
dated
they
reference
get this
right
big
there.
hair for him and Kirk
Oh
had a
my
nice
God.
toupee going on.
I'll say this. I think most of the shows I've seen, he's a whiny little bitch.
He is.
He is. That's the honest good truth. But who was it? Somebody brought this up. I never even clued in. I watched through the whole thing. Wrath of Khan.
Yeah.
He's on the, he's the one that Khan recognized. I never forget a name. He
But-
wasn't in the damn show.
He wasn't
on
in
the
that.
original series.
Mhm.
He wasn't even in that season.
That's how good Khan was. He
Khan-
can recognize faces he's never seen.
He probably read the script.
I really would love to see a comedy remake of that scene. And he goes, what? I've never seen you before.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Kirk had a toupee even back then, didn't he?
Yeah, he was pretty bald.
Oh, yeah.
Why not
Yeah.
Spock? He had a nice head of hair.
Next time, Jeff, when you're watching that scene where he yells "Khan," just keep your eyes on the hairline and see if it moves.
We're also laughing.
And things going.
I know it's movie night, but to the TV show real quick. I also noticed that Bones is wrong almost every time. He always contradicts Spock. Why? I don't know, because Spock's always right, and Bones is almost always wrong.
He's always pissed when he's right too.
Yeah.
You know, he doesn't have a glass half empty. His glass is shattered and on the floor. It's like, wow, Doc, you're a prick. And he's the guy he's supposed to be taking care of everybody on the ship, and he's a prick. I'm a doctor, not a nursemaid. Quit crying. You just lost a leg.
He's going to hold his ground no matter what.
He does. He is a dude.
I watched the show right before coming on here, and Bones was right. He had a bad feeling about this new guy that just joined the Enterprise, and he couldn't tell Spock why. He just said he just had a feeling, and Spock said that's illogical and just ignored him. But Bones had the last laugh on that one because the guy was a robot.
So Bones is the guy that would walk up to Spock and go, "You have some frosting right there," and then he'd be like, "Where?" And he's like, "Oh, it's right here." No, I'm sorry, the other side.
So, did you guys like the first movie? Because I really liked it, and I know a lot of people don't like it at all.
I can't say that I didn't like it. I just.
Well, you got to remember for what it was Return of the deal. What is that? About 12 years later or something like that.
Yeah.
So new.
I think it was
special
10.
effects.
Didn't it come out in
New.
79.
Came out in 79.
79. The date of my birthday, actually.
Wow. It's kind of amazing how little time there was in between when at the time we thought it was a long time.
It
Wow.
was a long time. Yeah.
Happy birthday, Bar. Here's a boring movie with some of your favorite old characters.
That I won't see for another 10 years.
Oh, and a pair of socks. Son of a bitch. All I want's an Atari.
I actually got a comb one time.
You got a comb?
But
Do you still have it?
I'd hope so. It'd be great for your beard.
Well,
Last year.
yeah. That was a great year.
There's some magic happening here.
Jerome did not like the first movie.
The first one. It came
Yeah,
out
thanks,
December 8th.
Jerome. Yep.
Yeah, December 8th, 79. That budget was $35 million. For that movie. And it
Did
made
it come out in 79?
79 and made 82.6.
Jeez, that would cover the catering bill now for a movie.
35 million seems like a lot of money for 1979, doesn't it?
It
Yeah.
At that
does.
time, I think it was.
Well, hell, they spent it on the wardrobe.
Oh, right.
Those are
Not-
some
not
horrible
for the women.
uniforms.
They just had the poor women had those half uniforms.
Yeah, well, the one didn't she have like a real tight outfit that was the body length, right?
Mhm.
She was the bald gal.
Rotten Tomatoes gave it a 52% rating.
Let me see.
So I'm trying to think, there was a yeoman on the TV show. I think she was the first one. She was a blonde woman. She was on like 6-7 episodes.
Yeah.
And turns out she ended up quitting because she said someone on the show was harassing her. And but she was I believe she was in either the first movie or one of the first movies, but in a real small role. I don't even know if she spoke. They just like kind of showed her, but they brought her back for the movie, which was really bizarre.
That is bizarre.
I wonder if they've done that with others.
I wonder if they were trying to make amends or something.
Do you think in Hollywood at the time, actors were wanting to be a red shirt to get out there and be killed in an episode? It's kind of like the deal, isn't
Probably.
Just get on
Awesome.
screen, yeah.
it? Yeah.
Sounds like, yeah, I don't know.
Well, that's the thing about the whole movie. There's a lot of guest stars or just people in small roles just to be a part. People you wouldn't think about.
I
they're
played a
just
trash
like
can. You guys didn't even know it. That was a small role.
I think we mentioned this on another show, but Kirstie Alley in the second one,
Second one. Yep.
and they lowballed her to come back for the third movie,
Right.
and she
Kirstie
was
Alley.
she was a young actress. She didn't have any pull, and she just had enough balls though. She was like, screw you guys, so
Hell
she didn't
yeah.
do it. They
I'll
offered
go do
less money.
Runaway with.
They offered her less money.
Yeah,
Like, well, that's kind of a
that's a ballsy dick asshole move. That's not a dick move. That's an asshole move.
that really is. I think it's funny though. She said, "Ah, screw you guys.
Like Dolly Parton to
I'm going to be
Elvis.
on Cheers in a few years. I don't need you."
Wait till my ship comes in. I don't need this ship.
I don't need this ship. Oh, that's great.
I don't need this kind of ship.
But you talk about money. Like so, the first one had a budget of $35 million. The second one, $11.2 million.
Jeez.
Whoa, wait, what?
The Wrath of Khan had a budget of $11.2 million.
That's
They
probably
spent it all on
like,
that earworm, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Genesis, we get a little ahead because we were talking about the first one, the Genesis scenes. So you go from 35 to 11.2. So they were cutting corners.
Wow.
That's
What was the
crazy.
third movie?
Wait,
17.
17. And they still couldn't give Kirstie Alley a bump in pay. Even though they raised it $6 million.
Yeah.
Now, see, I watch this all out of order because I'm just watching the shows now. So I didn't realize. I just watched Doomsday Machine with Decker. And apparently Decker is in. Oh, what was it? The first movie?
Stephen
movie,
Collins,
actor
the Stephen Collins role.
Yeah.
Yeah.
oh yeah.
Boy,
And that
yeah.
seemed kind of odd because he was kind of young compared to all the other cast members that were there. And he's the captain, right? He's about 10, 15 years younger, at least.
Yeah.
Then he started doing bad stuff.
Probably about $3 million of
Yeah.
that budget was the staff to keep Persis Kambata's head shaved. I don't think it was natural.
Oh.
But I think the
Between-
first one, you're talking about good or bad. I think the big problem they have is the bad guy. It's just a cloud with a spaceship. And
Yeah.
With Voyager. I mean, yeah, there's gonna be spoiler alerts on a 1979 movie, but it's okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
There's somebody out there going,
Somebody
But I mean,
out there
but
causing-
think about any kind of movie like a Star Trek or a Star Wars or any kind of adventure. It's all about the bad guy.
yeah.
The writing in the first one doesn't solve the problem. Even in 4, there's not really a bad guy that you see, but the writing gets around
Yeah.
it.
Pete, I
You're
have
right,
to-
you're right at it. Get the spoilers out of the way right now, okay? The bad guy's a cloud. Khan dies.
Yeah.
They find him.
Christopher Lloyd,
Save the whales.
save the whales.
Save the whales.
The one with the whales.
5. No, it's not really God.
Yep.
2. This one is. Yep. They get out of prison, and Kirk dies. They actually invent the warp drive, and Insurrection and Nemesis. Nobody cares.
Oh,
So spoilers are out of the way. Everything.
Good night, everybody.
see ya. Had a great show. Awesome.
Pete, you've just ruined movies from 40
Wrap
years
it
ago
all
for
up.
everybody.
There's somebody probably
Perfect.
sitting down with pizza right now with all the movies,
Son of a gun.
and they just had surgery, and they were getting ready to watch every one of them. They're like, mother trucker, son of a bitch.
Damn you!
The hell with it. Honey, can you order the new Star Trek movies? And throw away that piece of crap, Rise of Shitwalker.
So
And that
here-
piece of crap before it.
there you go.
Oh my God! What is
Oh,
Look at his
that?
hair.
Is that a tribble on his head?
That was a stunt,
Oh, my
stunt
God.
tribble.
This was like one of the first episodes, and it kept
Triple.
changing.
That's where the
Like the
budget
first
went.
4 or so episodes, they kept giving him a new wig. It's the weirdest thing.
That might be phrase of the day, stunt tribble. That's Bobby, my stunt tribble.
We want him to look like a Beatles, but not quite.
That's right. That's what it did look like. Look like a Beatle.
Try and make him like Paul, the cute one, but make him mysterious.
I could just see my friend's oldest doing his wig that day and going, Oh, you look fine. Go get him.
Almost like someone took him like a troll on a pencil and went like this with his body and his hair.
Oh my
Also,
God.
terrible hair was Scotty. His hair
What
never looked
episode
right.
was that? Do you know what episode that was?
No, but it was
In the original series.
probably season 2, but it was either like
Okay.
episode 1 or 2.
Okay.
Because when he first popped on, we're like, oh, there's Chekhov. And I was like, oh my God, what's wrong with his hair? What's going on?
Yeah.
That's not Chekhov's hair.
You look like Peter Tork from the Monkeys.
I know, right?
Yeah,
Looks like you just walked past the fan. Whoops.
exactly.
Now there's no time. Go. Just
Well, Desilu, Lucille Ball's company, is one that produced Star Trek, so there wasn't much in the way of wardrobe.
quick, take this tribble and go. Just
Hey, brother Mike.
Take the one we're going to use, the prototype we're going to use on a Fred, and give it to Chekhov.
All right. So, what was your favorite movie of the original cast?
I mean, I'd have to say Wrath of Khan off the top of my head. It's either Wrath of Khan or 4.
What was the whale one?
Four.
Four.
I think that was the fun one of them all was 4.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I've
4
got some
was
notes.
kind of like
I've got some notes on some of these.
4 was kind of like Temple of Doom. It was, No, really though, 3 was kind of like Temple of Doom, wasn't it?
3 was pretty good too.
3.
Yeah, and don't get me wrong, it wasn't
Christopher Lloyd.
Yeah.
Captain Cook, you don't want to give me the Genesis device? Okie doke.
Yeah, but you know who was on his command? Christopher Lloyd.
Yeah, who was it?
Klingon. John LaRoquette.
John
Yes.
Larroquette. Oh my God, yes, it was.
Oh.
Oh yeah.
John Larroquette. So
I
you got
think we should go
Doc,
through every movie and rate them. All of us give them a rating. We've seen them.
you got Doc and a lawyer.
All right, Lance. Why don't you go in
got all
order
I've got all the Rotten Tomato.
and let us know? Yeah, just kind of let us know what the storyline was real quick, because I can never remember for one movie.
Okay, from IMDb. The motion picture: when an alien spacecraft of enormous power is spotted approaching Earth, Admiral Kirk resumes command of the overhauled USS Enterprise in order to intercept it. Okay, that's the one: the gas cloud, the mysterious spaceship, and Voyager. There's no real bad guy that you see, and it kind of just there it is.
Well, and then they ripped that off for the second Fantastic Four movie when Galactus was just a cloud.
Yeah, they messed up Galactus in that. Yeah,
Oh, what a stupid fart zone that was.
but the
PJ,
first
I like
one.
that you brought this up. Where do you keep the nuclear vessels?
There's a story about that when we get to that movie.
Okay, right on.
Nuclear
Yeah.
There's a
vessels.
story about that. So Rotten Tomatoes gave the first one a 52% rating, budget of 35 million, made 82.6. So good beginning for that. But are we supposed to rate them or?
Yeah, what
do
would you give it? Like, where'd you find it? Like, how did you find it?
Well, I liked it better this time around. As a kid, I found it disappointing. I mean, it was after you got past the wow of seeing the crew back together, and the new Enterprise and all that. But I liked it. It's still not my favorite of the bunch. I'd say the lower. Let's see. There's 6 original ones.
Well, and how do you and when you're thinking about it, of course, there's
I'd probably rank it 5 out of 6. The fifth
Yeah.
one. If I was to order it, I'd
There you
probably
go.
order number 5.
Right on.
because there's a million ways to look at it. Are you looking at it because when I think about what's a good film, it's like when I think about a great album, it's like you could put that album on and I could listen to it and then listen to it again and listen to it again. The movies are like, what am I going to want to watch again?
Yes.
And how soon can I watch it?
Yeah.
No, if it wasn't for this movie night show, I probably wouldn't
Right.
have watched it.
And by the way, there are some new copies of that 10 disc set or whatever it is out there for $20 new on Amazon.
Nice.
Bar, what do you think?
I enjoyed just the total shtick of one that was over the top, overacting. I loved it.
Yeah.
Classically, as when I was younger too, I think Khan was sort of was just sort of exciting, I guess. But 4, I thought was hilarious.
Yeah, right on.
And when they get to the scene where he goes, we'll trade you the formula for clear aluminum for,
Yeah.
to get these, all this, get the whales and all that. And he goes, computer, and it does nothing. Computer, and he does nothing. And so all of a sudden,
Picks the mouse up.
It picks the mouse up. Yeah.
He talks. Yeah, he's talking about magically. He knows how to type 1 billion words a minute.
Exactly.
He's probably never seen a keyboard in his life, right?
He said, "How quaint." On the
yeah. Oh, look. What's this thing? Oh, you just do this. I thought that was hilarious.
I'm gonna say about number 1. I'll give it about a 6 out of 10. It's probably my 5th favorite as well. But the thing about it at the time is, remember, come out just kind of on the heels of when Star Wars was huge. And Star Wars was built so much more upon action and the characters, the wild aliens and stuff. And as an 8-year-old kid who into Star Wars, all of a sudden you're introduced to Star Trek, which really was before my day, but I'd seen on TV, along with Space 99. Which now that I'm watching the series right now, same as Jeff is. I'm a little bit over halfway through. I watched the Trouble with Tribbles last night. That's episode 15 of season 2. So I've watched 45 episodes of it, and I've loved it. I've loved it like I've never loved it before, the original series. But I have a different expectation from it now, and I love the effects that they've done in the Paramount Plus versions, like all the new updated graphics and stuff.
It looks amazing. Like the planets, the past is unbelievable.
Beautiful. And so at the time, I'd say as a kid, I watched the motion picture, and I remember watching it on HBO. That's where I saw it, was on HBO, or when it very first came out. HBO was released in my little town at my brother-in-law's house, who was a huge Star Trek fan. And I was just sort of like, oh, that's neat. It's in space, but it's not very exciting. But as I get older, I developed more of an appreciation for it, just like I've developed an appreciation for the original series. So I give it a higher rating now than I definitely would have back in the day. And I really do think it's very faithful to the TV show, the spirit of the TV show. And I enjoy what they did. I thought the effects were absolutely amazing for 1979. So I'll give it a 6 just because, but I will say that, man, I like some of the other ones so much better. Yeah, right on. That's my feelings on the original motion picture. And I could sit down and watch it again right now and be happy.
I'm the same way with all of them. I've watched the first 10 now, and I liked every one of them. I could watch any of them again, no problem.
Stuart, you're the only one that hasn't piped in on number 1. Where'd you first see it? When did you first see it?
We went and saw it.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Because we were big fans of that stuff. Okay. And what was its release year again?
79. Yeah. December 8th, 1979.
Yeah, because we were in on a whole, we saw Star Wars, and and Star Trek was huge because my older brothers, we watched the show, and I watched all the reruns, as they would constantly show them, like Gilligan's Island, and so yeah, we went and saw it at the theater, and it was just kind of I don't know. That's why I enjoyed when Khan came out. It was like it's like the opposite of Little Mermaid when they've remade it recently, where it's very long, and you're like, over 2 hours. This film is not that intense. You don't need over 2 hours of that. But Wrath of Khan was like, this is like a really fun extended episode. So it felt like it brought it back to a film about the TV show on the big screen. That's what happened. So the first one, that was the reason why I wasn't in love with it. There was, there were change is hard, right? So you bring in all these new people, and you got these things happening, and you're like, it was kind of had a bit of.
It even was faithful to the point
Space Odyssey.
How they brought in new characters to sort of be the sacrificial lambs in the
Yes.
story,
Right.
right?
Yeah.
Which they did all the time in the show.
Upgraded red shirts.
Yeah, exactly.
No, my son and I, we've been laughing at the fact that what is your like 2,300 or so, and there's not one constraint or seatbelt on this ship. Every time there's any hit, they go flying across the screen. I'm like, why aren't you guys buckled in somehow? Is that difficult?
They accelerate by pushing the throttle forward. I mean, come on.
Yeah. Really. So Barhead on 2, like one thing I noticed about 2 is that it sort of it took from the old, it took its focus from being like the series and for the fans of the series to rejuvenate it, and it became more mainstream by having more of an action movie. Face it, Ricardo Montalban, what a time to bring him back. He was hot at that time.
Perfect timing.
Yes.
No.
So you
Jack,
bring him in,
too.
people, oh, I want to go see him, and it brought more people into the theater, and it was a great action movie. People, I think, I give that a good solid. I'll give it a 9.
Yeah.
What a great
Because-
bad guy.
Man, he was great. He's so cool, so smooth.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, he's just smarmy. Like you
Yeah, right.
want to
And
reach
ruthless.
across and just smack him in the teeth.
What
Yeah.
a ruthless mother trucker.
Let's see, we're watching these all out of order here. Like I watch the movies in order, but it's the first time I've seen them. So when we watched Khan, Wrath of Khan, I hadn't seen the Khan episode of the TV show.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
So I mean, I knew about it. I knew what the story was, but I have a question for you guys who've seen it. Remember in the TV show, the one of the women on the Enterprise left with Khan.
Left. Yep.
She was so
Yes.
fascinated with him. Was she in the movie?
I think is that the one they said his
That's
wife
the one became his wife, and she died. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
They
So they
reference her as
mentioned her.
dead. Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right.
Now, were you guys as creeped out when you first saw it at that earworm scene?
Oh my god.
Yeah. My brother jumped up
That was
on
hard to
the
watch.
table when we were watching it on cable.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, whoa, dude. He's
Brother
like,
Mike.
oh, it's driving me nuts. Yeah.
Yeah. So the second one had a budget of 11.2 million. Worldwide gross was 79.8 million. So that was a success.
Um,
And then you mentioned Kirstie Alley, but then also Paul Winfield. Rather than get saved, I think he shoots himself. He kills himself rather than go through the agony of that worm.
yeah. How sad is
Lousy
that?
worm.
That was tough to watch.
That lousy worm.
It also had me watching the show that Star Trek is basically like Gilligan's Island in space, where they have all these people that show up every week. But the difference is, Gilligan would mess it up and everyone would leave, and they were stuck there. Where Kirk saves the day and gets rid of all the people. It's just so funny. It's like
Great
like that's-
analogy.
they're flying through space and they keep running into ships or whatever. It's like,
Yeah.
what are the odds of you running into a ship over 100 years in space? Like zero. But it happens every week on Star Trek. Which I'm
Maybe
glad.
100 years
Very
went by.
interesting. Yeah, maybe it did.
Maybe that's where Han Solo got his line, never tell me the odds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Wrath of Khan got a Rotten Tomato score of 87%. Now, Jeff, you said you watched them out of order? The
The movies I watched in order, but we're watching the TV show at the same time. So
Oh, gotcha.
we saw
Okay.
Wrath of Khan the movie before we saw Khan the TV show. So it's kind of jumbled up there. So
I got you. But you did watch the movies. What I'm getting at is most of these movies, at least in the first round, they're all connected. Almost like the TV show, like if it ran in a series.
Yeah.
It's not like, 5 years later or 10 years later, a new adventure. There is some overlap, at least in the story arc there is.
and it's also interesting because I didn't see any of these as a kid. So there's no nostalgia for me. I'm watching them for the first time.
Hmm.
And I'm still loving them.
Nice, Salvador.
Let's see. I'm trying to. Jeff, do we have?
It was written as Wagon Train in Space, according to Roddenberry.
Do we have room for me to throw an image on here real quick?
Yeah.
I didn't know if it was going to tell me you need to get rid of some
Yeah,
stuff.
Pete's Avatar is great. Hold on, I gotta adjust my light.
Let's see if I can get it to work. Okay. Christine just sent this to me today. How odd that she'd send this to me today. It's peak
Yeah, I've seen that. Yeah.
pie, not pecan pie.
That's great.
Pecan pie.
Now, too, if I remember right, that's the one where they found out that Kirk cheated to pass that simulation test.
Yes.
The
Kobayashi
Kobayashi.
Maru.
Yeah,
Yeah. That's where you find out, well, Kirk's a cheater. He's not.
Oh, sorry.
Hello.
Puzzle bubble.
I'm like just clicking around on shit. Just, whoop. So if we're throwing we were throwing like a rating down, right? Like where we would put each one, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
All
I
right.
gave it a 9. I gave it that one. I'm going to put it as my second favorite. And I'm going to give it a 9.
Mm. Okay.
I'd agree with that. My second favorite too.
Hey, Pete, I have to ask you a question. This is just me being me.
Anti Rise of Skywalker.
Oh no, it has nothing to do with that piece of shit. But I noticed when you were holding yours up,
Yeah.
are they not opened?
Yeah, some of them are. There's only a couple that aren't, but I slice the top.
See, you're one of those guys. Okay, I just was wondering.
He's a top
Yeah.
slicer.
I have to take it off. It drives me bananas. I'm like, no.
That's
I'm
that
like-
one on there for. I probably got
Yeah.
this movie in. Well, it would be mid 90s.
Yeah, because I mean, yeah, I've had mine for quite some time as well. And I don't have all of those like that. I've only got 4 of them. Let's see, I've got 2, what is this, 3? I have 2, 3, and 6 like this. Yeah. 2, 3, 4, 6. Yeah. And then I got this where they have 2, 3, and 4 together, I guess.
Okay, yeah.
That was in the box that I got at the Mo Game Con.
Oh yes.
So
Very cool.
just
So in general, did you guys like original Star Trek movies better or next generation Star Trek movies better?
Original hands down.
original, definitely.
Yeah, I think original.
I'd go
And I like Generations.
Yeah.
Where they brought it,
Yep.
together and then moved on.
Yeah.
Yeah. Malcolm McDowell. I like Malcolm McDowell.
I did not dislike the next generation movies, like really, though. I'm not saying I didn't like them. I'm just saying that I like the other ones so much.
Correct. Yeah,
Okay.
same.
So how about 3? Like you said 3, you thought of like Temple of Doom, like sort of a filler in between. It was kind of different. But
Yeah.
there's a lot of good things about it too. Like
There
Christopher
are.
Lloyd was
And
awesome.
I enjoy it. Just Temple of Doom is just between those two, you got this majestic opening to the Indiana Jones saga.
Yeah.
And then, The Last Crusade is just a wonderful
Epic.
finale, epic finale to it, right? And then in the middle, you've got this popsicle, this bubblegum movie, and with lots of screams, and she's annoying as shit, and
Yeah.
some people really, really like that, and it really opened the audience up even more. So I don't blame them for it. I don't dislike it. I like it. It's just not my favorite in the middle. So, that's kind of, I kind of felt like Wrath of Khan was like I said, it was a great expanded television program, like the original show. But then the third one just seemed a little hokey to me. It just,
Yeah.
It-
I like the premise at the beginning where Bones, because they set that up perfectly. Obviously, they had plans for all these movies, right? Or at least till 4 or 5. But
Right.
I like that where I thought that was done well. I thought it was done well on Earth when they took off on their own. I like that part. That was great. And I even like the Klingons. But the only thing I really didn't like is I couldn't stand the friggin' Kirk's son. I wish that was never in it.
Oh, totally agree with that.
Oh yeah, his son.
I didn't like that aspect of it. I mean, why even bother with that? I didn't like that. I don't know. It's just the one little thing in that movie. It's like, ugh.
Right.
I might be alone in liking 3, and I think I liked it because of sort of that regenerative aspect where he, where they drop him on that planet that's sort of coming back, or when they're doing the Genesis project and all that. I kind of like that whole aspect of it. I think, and Spock was I don't know, just the way they put that part of that together.
Yeah. I loved it. Don't get me wrong, Bar. I love the movie. It's just that one little bit of it.
I like it too.
No David even being in it.
You
I hear you on that.
Put them out of every one,
Yeah, but see, with 3, I thought was fine. In the David aspect, he was annoying, but I think that sets up later the trial and Kirk's hatred of the Klingons for killing this boy.
Yeah. Well, I got to say, when they killed one of them, it's like, yes, they picked the right one.
Yeah.
Hey, you finally got the red shirt right.
Yeah, there you go. That's not a nice thing to say, but it's just I didn't.
And 3 was the first movie directed by a cast member. That was directed by Leonard Nimoy.
True, yeah.
Yeah. Who directed this Wrath of Khan?
Nicholas Meyer.
Okay.
There you go.
Okay.
It's funny watching these late is in that one with Christopher Lloyd. I just couldn't get past it. That was
Brother Jim.
That or Doc Brown. I mean,
Doc Brown. Yeah.
I had a hard time seeing him as a Klingon.
I know, right?
Of course,
Reverend,
when
hard to
it
take
first
serious.
came out, that's not an issue. But I must watch. I'm like,
it was an issue even then. I was like,
yeah,
Reverend Jim and Dan Fielding. That's their bad guys.
he's a bad guy. He's Captain Kirk's nemesis, and you change the channel, and all of a sudden he's going, "What? A yellow lightning!
oh,
Slow down!"
thinking that he can't. They asked him to record that line. He was in full Klingon.
So I mean, it just those are the days. Like I don't know.
What was the juxtaposition of Back to the Future and Star Trek 3?
1 year.
Star Trek was first.
1
right?
year.
Star Trek 3 was first.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. So if you saw it
So he'd
originally,
done
then
Jim. He'd been doing Jim, and then he did that, and then he did Back to the Future.
I think Taxi had just gone off the air, right? About a year earlier, right around then.
I mean, Christopher Lloyd's freaking amazing. Don't get me wrong, but it's just
Right.
He was Doc Brown because it's a great, lovable comedic character. The Klingon leader was not a great, lovable comedic character.
No,
but he can't open his mouth without coming across that way.
True, but Search for Spock came out in '84. Also, Buckaroo Banzai came out that same year, and Christopher Lloyd's a bad alien, bad guy in that movie.
Oh,
Wow.
That guy Roger Rabbit too, but still kind of.
Well, I know, right? That's
right. You know, it's even Buckaroo Banzai. I've seen that years ago.
But he's got the greatest name, John Big Booty, in that movie.
All right, so
Booty,
making my point or confirming that yes, it was somewhat comedic.
It's Booty.
You're like, whatever.
Yeah, just go with it.
Oh man.
So Star Trek 3 got a 78% on Rotten Tomatoes. Had a budget of 17 million, made 76.4.
Tell me the Rotten Tomatoes again on it.
78.
Okay, 78.
Yeah. So Wrath of Khan was 87.
Right.
78 for Search for Spock.
Oh, look at that. They just flipped it.
Flip it.
Oh, look at that. What was her name?
I just called her the green bitch. I'm sorry. That's not meant. It's not meant to be disrespectful. It's just what we called her.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that's not disrespectful at all. Wow.
Yeah.
I think that's what people are saying about you right now.
Mm-hmm.
That Papa Pete, he's a real green bitch.
Maybe you recognize it from this picture.
Oh, wow.
That's funny.
Kirk was here.
They should have run MINI right up the side of that mini Kirk. Oh, wow. Green.
Nice.
I'm very embarrassed about that.
You know, we're going to have to make a
I
t-shirt
apologize for
now
being
that
so
says
disrespectful.
Papa Pete, the green bitch. That green bitch, old ass gamer.
Yeah, Kirk was messing around with the green alien in the reboot, the very first one.
Uh-huh.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. They started doing that thing, right? Where they
Her as
were
roommate.
like flipping everything,
That's the roommate.
you know. She's in trouble with a tribble. I won't even. Okay, I'm all right. No, I'm not going to say it.
After he was done with the green bitch, she went over to her roommate.
Oh, I have to admit, when I first saw this statement, when I put Saboteur, when I put this up here, I thought you were saying something about me. I saw my name, and I'm like, oh, Patrick Stewart. Never mind.
That's cool. I'd love to go to something like that, but they're so damn expensive, aren't they? Like to meet any of them or whatever.
Yeah, what isn't? I mean,
Well, that's
the
true,
box
too.
of Velveeta is almost $10. That's sick.
Yeah.
So anyway. And some green bitch bought me a copy of. Right.
So now let's talk about number 4, The Voyage Home.
Voyage Home, 1986.
Is this the whale one?
The one with the whales.
All right, 4.
82%.
All right. So far, in the first 6 movies, so far you've got number 1 at 5.
I have number 1 as my 5th favorite.
Right. And number 2 at your number 2.
Second favorite.
Second.
Yeah. And then number 3 is where? I know we're basing this all on Pete right now, but that's
Well,
Pete and Lance.
I'm kind of confused. I'd say my 3rd favorite.
Okay, so 2, 3, in their
Yeah.
respective spots.
Yeah.
And number 1 up at 5. So
Yeah.
it's number 4 your favorite?
Number 4 is my favorite of the bunch.
Favorite one.
I'll just a little blurb on that. It's the only one I saw in the theater. I was in university, and a whole boatload of us went up and saw it that day. There was a whole bunch of people really excited to see it, and I just had an absolute blast watching it. And I've always enjoyed watching it ever since. And it's just my favorite movie. So it's a little bit of nostalgic goggles that put it over top of 2, because I wouldn't say, if somebody said to me, oh, I think Wrath of Khan's a better movie than Voyage Home, I'm going to say, fair enough.
Right.
But for me, it's not. There's some nostalgia goggles going on there, but that's okay.
Yeah, it's nothing you got to take a piss about. I mean, it's, yeah, because I get that. And my favorite scene in 4, because I love conversation.
Can we guess on this?
So yeah, go ahead. What's my favorite?
I was gonna say, well, double dumbass on you.
when Spock is screwing up how to use expletives on the bus, I'm loving that. That is perfect. It's like you're just sitting there like you could just imagine being Kirk going, dude, just stop. Just don't.
It's kind of like Kylo Ren dialogue, except for Kylo Ren's not trying to be comedic.
And he's and he's beating the shit out of the ship with his helmet.
Yeah.
Clean up on level 3, please. Can we just say KL?
Now we're talking about 4, right? So Leonard Nimoy directed it, and he was one of the writers on this one.
Oh, one of the writers. Okay.
Oh, I didn't know that.
That makes sense.
So he did a mind meld on the whale, right?
Yes. Yeah, she's pregnant.
Yeah, I actually really like that.
Not with Kirk's
like that
kid,
scene.
though.
Hell, she's not your whale.
She wasn't green
The
enough.
whale? What?
I wasn't a fan of that the woman that was in there.
Well, oddly enough, she's the wife in Seventh Heaven with Steve.
Stephen
That's
Collins.
right. Yes.
Yes.
So
really?
how
I
weird
never
is
knew that. Or I never thought of that again. You're right. Absolutely.
From 1 to 4. It's kind of weird.
Rotten Tomatoes gives it an 82%.
Oh, didn't quite make. Didn't
Star Trek
quite-
4 had a budget of 25 million, grossed 109.7.
Do you think a lot of that was?
And there is a guest star, if you want to call it a cameo, in this one.
There is. What is it?
Jane Wheatland from the Go-Go's.
Oh,
Really?
yeah. She would.
She's actually chosen it twice. Once at the end, but when in the Federation Planet deal, when everything's turning off,
Yeah.
she's one of the people on screen as a communications officer. But you see,
Oh my
like they're looking
God.
at a screen with her there,
Let me see if I can find that.
so she shows up twice.
I love
Now
this. Saboteur
this-
picked up a bunch of Star Trek memorabilia because a neighbor of his daughter's boyfriend had a yard sale selling all of her ex-husband's Star Trek memorabilia.
Oh,
Wow.
Oh. Now there's a couple of stories on that. When you guys mentioned Uhura and Chekhov looking for the nuclear vessels,
Yes.
The whistle.
there's one lady that actually answers them. Now the story goes is that she was not an actor. It was just a regular person, happened to be on set because her car was next to the production that got towed away.
Oh.
So to get money to get her car back out of impound, she asked to be an extra, and they gave her that spot.
Oh wow.
And the line she gives was unscripted. It was just told her act naturally, and she just gave answer off the top of her head.
What did she
You
say? I
got the
don't
beat.
remember.
I don't remember
Something
that.
along the
part.
lines. Oh, gee, I don't know where. I don't. Maybe it's over. Something.
She said
Probably.
we got the beat. That's what
Probably.
she said.
Said what?
And then there's a goof in the movie when Sulu is in a helicopter in a Huey and he hits the windshield.
Yeah.
The windshield didn't operate, so you see a grip's hand, the stage hand, move the windshield
Really?
Oh, the wiper.
on the wiper, the windshield wiper.
Oh, that's hilarious. I
Pee
love
Wee
that.
Herman. Let me see.
What else I was thinking? Like they're out in the park, and here's Sulu, who of course, because he's drives a spaceship in 2300s, can perfectly fly a helicopter without an issue, and strategically drop this transparent aluminum, which they have just invented and produced in a matter of about 4 hours. And they're going straight down into the this Klingon vessel, which is cloaked and nobody can see. And as it goes into the cloaking, it disappears. And there's nobody anywhere within miles that are noticing this helicopter hovering over top of the park.
Mm-hmm. Golden Gate Park, no less. So it's not like
Yeah,
Yeah, it's not like it's Northwoods Park in my hometown.
right.
Yeah.
So, okay.
Did you see that? See what? My dog was pooping. I don't know. I was cleaning up my dog's poop.
Speaking of pooping, did you just go to that?
I found this photo. I'll have it here in just a second. There we go. Yeah, I totally remember that now. Because what I'll use the word again because I want to be pretentious as shit. What's the juxtaposition of Bill and Ted? There you go. She had
when Jane Whedon.
Yeah, Jane Wheatland from the Go-Go's. You know what's really kind of weird about that is I forgot to mention it in my show earlier today that I'm getting ready to go. I'm going to do a little short though too because I got to make an announcement about what's coming up next week. But I'm going to go see a play tomorrow night called Head Over Heels, which has got a bunch of Go-Go's music in it.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Oh, that'd be cool.
So it's kind of interesting that you brought that. I forgot all about that, Lance. That's so wild because I love We Got the Beat. That's a great bass line to play. I sometimes I just want to pull out the bass and throw it on the headphones and play it. It's so fun.
There you go. Nice.
All right.
All right.
What about you? 5?
Yeah.
5. Now 5 was directed and was by William Shatner, and Shatner was also one of the writers.
Did you almost say Shitner?
I almost did because this one was rough. I think
It's shit. It's number 6.
yeah. This one has a Rotten Tomatoes of 21.
Oh,
Yeah.
dude.
It's number 6 for me.
Now, an interesting, we're talking about guest stars. It has David Warner. You know who that is?
Yes.
Okay, he's a
Jack
Federation
the Ripper.
he's a Federation ambassador in this one. He's
Yep.
in the next one as a Klingon chancellor.
That's right. Holy
Yeah.
crap.
Wow.
So I guess he had sex with a Klingon,
Joey Biden.
and then the kid was in the next movie.
Well, they were all together on that planet for quite a while.
They were
I guess
quite a
Klingon
while.
was a guy, though. Robin was a girl.
You want to know what the genesis to you was? No, shut up.
Hey, Captain Kirk, show me your Genesis device.
This show just keeps getting classier and classier.
Do we know why Spock's brother or half brother, I guess, was so full of emotions? Like he didn't try to suppress them at all.
No, but that said part of the original religious order of because I just watched this one. I mean, I liked it better this time I watched it than I had any memories of it. That being said, okay, I did enjoy it this time I watched it. I really did think it was okay, but still number 6, case closed. Yeah, he had a different religious belief from Vulcan, and he had a few people with him, and that's why he was excluded from the planet, or what do you call it? Exiled from the planet, because he wouldn't control his emotions. He wanted to embrace his emotions,
Which is weird because he was full Vulcan.
Yeah, 100%.
I'll check into that, PJ. I'd like to know more about it. Wondering if Gwyneth Paltrow produced that the play that I was just talking about.
Well, a funny thing I remember from this movie is like when they beat the godlike creature towards the end, right? And how did you get here? And he used the starship to get through the barrier. And they said, well, the god's like, well, let me use your, give me your starship. And then Kirk's like, hey, why does God need a starship?
Yeah.
Hey, got a question.
Excuse me. Yes, in the back, please. Yeah.
I found that hilarious. Like,
Why
okay.
does God need a starship? Dude, you had me and you lost me.
Because everybody else is like, yes, because they all went through that mind thing with the brother and all that.
Who's this asshole in the back? Get him out of here.
And 5 had a budget of 27.8 million, made 52.2. So it had a bigger budget than Star Trek 4, the one with the whales.
Well, they haven't had a loser one yet as far as making money.
And that was only probably because they had to pay him to direct it.
It totally went off kilter from all the others. There was nothing really to link it to the last one, was there?
No, that's what the other part was. You're just like, what? Okay, so we're not even talking about everything else.
Yeah,
we just get a shit film. Thank you.
My confession is, I couldn't even make it into that movie. I did not watch it.
Your favorite?
I couldn't make myself, and I'm not even sure I watched 6 either.
However,
by the time I got to 4, I was several Romulan ales under, so that one's a little fuzzy for me too, to tell you the truth. Luckily, I'd seen it.
I'd had too much
years
pizza and
before.
fallen asleep.
On that note,
ta-da!
There you go.
Yeah,
Nice rap. That's perfect.
I had a buddy of mine in college used to sing, "We built this titty on silicone." That's what he'd say.
Oh, wait, I think that Jefferson Starship song might be the worst song I've ever heard in my life.
Are you kidding me? Really?
I think it's so terrible. I can't even stand.
I wish somebody wouldn't have brought it up.
So Rab just gave you a slap in the neck.
It's in your head now, like it's a small world. Once you
can we ban Retro Advisory Board? Get the fuck out of here.
So what you're saying, Bar, is you're making it back longer than Rab is going to make it.
Just the title alone, we built this city on rock and roll. What does that even mean? It's so stupid.
Bar's already beaten Rab.
I've just been excommunicated.
All right, Rab, you made a comeback of that reply.
Come back.
Hey, Michael.
Michael Haynes.
That's okay. It's not what you've done; it's what you're going to do about it. So,
my son would tell me that there was Shatner had a clause in his contract that if Nimoy ever got to direct a movie, that he got to direct a movie.
Oh yeah.
At first, it sounds stupid.
I
but
can
it's
see
like,
that.
Oh, wait a minute. That
I can
sounds
see that now.
exactly like William Shatner.
It does sound like it.
So apparently, that's why that movie came about. I guess they just threw him that one.
Hmm.
But you said, but he wrote part of it, right? So
Yes.
Well,
yes.
do you think that? Do you think that maybe? Because didn't you said that Nimoy did 3 as well, right?
right, he had 2 in a row. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then he's like,
3 or 4.
"Well, I want to do this one," and he's like, no, it's okay. Well, no, we're gonna get somebody else." Leonard, you ready? Yeah. Okay. So, yeah, we got somebody else. It's all good. Maybe the next one, like that has nothing to do with any of this stuff. Maybe we'll let you in on that one.
Hey,
Yeah. Also, I think this was a time when Shatner was writing books. Was it Tech War? He had his own
Yes.
sci-fi series he was writing around this time.
Really? Wow.
Yeah. Tech War. Yep. Good call.
Yeah,
Good
true.
call, Lance.
See, I feel vindicated here.
It was voted worst song of all time on some poll a few years ago.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
That Jeff wrote.
Yeah.
I texted Jeff and said, "Can you write something, man?"
Under the guise of hate shitty music.
Spock was in T.J. Hooker.
Oh, really? What
Whoa.
what did he do there?
Oh wow.
That's
Maybe he was a waste can.
Reverend Jim.
Or Jim, yeah.
logical.
Did you notice the first appearance of the Klingons on the show looked nothing like this? They didn't have the weird head thing going on.
Right, right.
They just had like some. It looked like they were working in a coal mine, basically.
They did. They
had
were
some-
just dirty people.
It's just some smears of.
They were smudgy.
Yeah, they were smudge. It was weird.
Yeah. They like evolved into a weird cranial thing.
Yeah. Hey, Jeff, have you ever seen the Deep Space Nine episode with the Tribble crossover?
No, I haven't seen any of those.
Okay, so there's an
they're on my list.
episode where the Deep Space Nine crew wind up going back in time and where they're interacting with the Tribble episode. So there's cuts from that episode into this new thing. So there's a scene where they're at the bar and Klingons come in from the 60s, how they look, which is just, almost
interesting.
a blackface. And they're there with Worf. And they're looking at him and he goes, "Those are Klingons?" And then, and Worf just goes, "Oh, it's a long story."
My great grandfather actually had sex with this green chick. And
Did they ever explain the appearance change?
No, I don't
Okay.
think they ever did. They just left it. It's a long story.
Makeup budget.
But have you guys seen Shatner in his latest show, Unexplained?
No.
The Odd Time. That's quite a while ago too, wasn't it?
I think it's still going on, isn't it?
He's in his 90s.
Yeah,
He's
And
ancient.
he actually went to space.
he did.
yeah, I mean, yeah. I mean, yeah.
We got there.
Honor of Montgomery Scott, New Scotland Brewery. We got St. Andrews Extra Pale Ale.
Power up time.
There you go.
Yeah, exactly, Salvador. Which brings me to Worf, the next one, Undiscovered Country. The Michael Dorn, who plays Worf,
Yes.
he actually plays the defense attorney
Right.
in Part 6, which is the grandfather of the Worf character. So he plays his own grandfather.
That's pretty cool.
Sounds like a country song.
Yeah.
I
Hey, and there's a
once
few
played my
more.
own grandfather in a show.
In 6, there's a few more guest stars. I guess we can start on 6. So Kim Cattrall
Yes.
is Vulcan.
Speaking of Indiana Jones.
Kurtwood Smith,
Oh. I mean, Big Trouble in Little China.
Big Trouble in Little China, yeah. Kurtwood Smith, I think he plays the president. David Warner has this time going around as the Klingon Chancellor. I told you about Michael Dorn. Christian Slater has a brief appearance.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
And then Iman, who was a supermodel at the time,
Yeah.
who actually makes out with Kirk for a minute.
Yep. In prison, right?
Yes,
But that wasn't her true form, correct?
No.
we don't know.
That's happened to him a few times.
No, but that was a best form ever.
He doesn't care.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. There's a pulse. Okay.
Take one for the team.
Now, part 6 was Leonard Nimoy was one of the writers on 6. He was not the director, but he was a writer on it.
Okay, who directed that one?
Nicholas Meyer.
Oh,
Same guys too.
right. Brought him back
Brought him back.
after the Shatner effect.
So like that Star Trek 5.
You want to come back in?
So 5 had a Rotten Tomatoes of 21%. 6, 83%.
Wow.
Yeah.
And then of course you have Christopher Plummer as the bad guy.
Christopher Plummer was kick ass.
Who was quoting all these different Shakespeare and different.
Yes.
Now it's coming back to me.
Yeah. And he had the patch, right?
He had the patch. And a neat thing I kind of liked about it is the ending credits. Instead of just regular text, William Shatner, you had all the signatures of the main.
Yes.
original cast. That was a nice touch.
You could tell it was good. That was the end.
Yes.
Or so we thought.
Well,
Yeah, well, because 5 was the final frontier. Now this is the undiscovered country.
It's kind of like a kiss tour.
yes, torso.
I just got to back over.
So part 6 had a budget of $30 million. It grossed 96.8. So
Pretty good. I put it as my 4th favorite.
I would
Just
say
ahead
that's
of the
about
original
right.
one. And
Yeah, I'd agree with your picks there.
And Sulu was a captain in this one, right?
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
Because
Again,
they gave him a promotion in one of the earlier ones. I don't know if it was the
Yeah, and what was
previous
his
one.
ship? Do you remember?
Yeah, I can't remember. I also heard that he was
But
kind of
that-
whining that George Takei was kind of whining that he wanted to be a captain on the show. I was like, oh, I don't know what difference it makes. It's
Oh my.
yeah, it's the last movie. What do you care? But apparently he was a little upset, and so they made him a captain.
Well, they had to write it that way because they gave him a promotion in one of the other earlier movies.
Oh.
And for him to still be driving the ship, he would actually have to have a loss in rank to be in it. So to keep him happy, send him off as his own captain, and then you brought the daughter in. Because remember, they said something like a Sulu has always piloted the Enterprise.
We're seeing Star Trek Enterprise.
Well, thank you, Viper Man, for explaining that. That's cool.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah.
Nice.
I couldn't make it through. Has anybody? Well, I don't want to get too far into this. We've still got a little time here. We can talk about that in a minute. About some of the other shows. So, Spock was the voice of Galvatron. Really?
Yes, he was. Yes, he was.
Wow.
He also was the voiceover guy in the Dreamcast game Seaman,
Wow.
which was I don't know how they got Leonard Nimoy for that. I can't imagine they spent a lot of dough to get him because it was a very small game.
yeah,
It was a very small game.
I've got that game in there. I've got a copy of it with the microphone and everything.
I finished that one. It was
Did you really?
yeah, it was something else.
Oh, and the voice of Sentinel Prime.
It was one where it came with a microphone.
There you go,
and you would
Christopher
talk to
Plummer.
the fish,
There you go.
which is so funny.
That's pretty cool.
By the way, Viper Man, it's the first time I've seen you in here. Thanks for stopping by.
I think we've seen him before because I love the
Avatar,
Thundercats.
yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah,
That's
and
very
I think
cool.
I remember that before because that's bitching. I love the Photoshop work on that. That's cool. I was just talking about animated shows like that with one of my students today, as a matter of fact.
Seaman has an ending. Yes, it actually does.
It's called Birth.
Unlike Pete, I'm not going to spoil it for you.
Sorry, couldn't help it.
Avatar.
It just came right out.
The old
You'll
Seaman
have to play it.
That's what I
That's
told her.
Avatar.
It just came right out.
Pete, you got the game. You should stream that game, Pete.
There you go. Don't you have to turn it off and leave it for days on end or something to let him grow?
Wasn't
Or
it Excelsior?
I think you can play again. Yeah, I think you have to leave it off a little bit.
Excelsior. I think that's right. Thank you. I think that is right, Metal.
Papa Pete stream Seaman. There's your title right there, Pete.
How'd that come out?
Oh boy.
streaming semen.
Wow.
Again, classier and classier goes up. You're like school on Saturday, no class.
Well, it's right there. I got the game.
Oh,
What's
it's a
wrong?
game. I'm sorry. It's a game. Okay.
Yeah,
good.
Dreamcast game
That's his new porn.
with Leonard Nimoy.
New sex tape from Papa Pete. Streaming semen. Wow. I'm telling you.
Yes, I have seen this. PJ,
No
It was
gentleman
on-
here.
They showed this video on
Oh, it's
For the
horrifying.
Love of Spock, the documentary. Oh
I
boy,
haven't seen Nemo. Bilbo Baggins song.
that was not pretty.
That
It
is
was very
horrifying.
Shatner.
Oh man,
Oh yeah, I remember that because I'm sorry, was that part of that on this? Did they
Yeah.
did they have some of that on here?
yeah, the video's on there. I mean, just a little bit of it, but it's on there.
Yeah. This was I was very fortunate. That was a dollar store grab.
Oh, nice. It's a good movie.
It's really amazing. Cool, Papa Pete. Now this podcast is eligible for. Oh wow!
Yeah, sign up now for our OnlyFans.
Well, let's talk about Generations.
Oh, I was gonna say before we did that, Pete could start a Patreon. More to come on Patreon.
Oh,
Okay. Generations.
Lance is plowing through. He's just going forward.
Yeah.
Okay,
I'm not
Okay.
going to qualify that.
Go through it.
I could just see Pete making a movie. He has his clackboard and he goes, "Okay,
Oh.
not action." Okay,
Generations Rotten Tomatoes was 48%.
Oh.
really? Why? I wonder.
I guess because Kirk dies. That would be my guess. People pissed off about it.
I contend that
Spoiler.
Picard killed him. If he would have been a little bit a better captain, I don't think Kirk would have died there. If it was twisted around, I think Kirk would have kept Picard alive.
I could see that. Yeah.
He made it so.
So Generations had a budget of 35 million,
Oh,
gross
back to-
118.
So what
Wow.
year was that?
Generations 94.
Okay,
November 18th, 1994 was the
so we're
release.
talking 15 years later, and you
From-
got the same budget 15 years later as you did as
Oh.
the first one.
It was the first one. Just saying.
It's very interesting.
Now, my only complaint, I mean, it is Michael McDowell makes a creepy bad guy. I'm good with that. But when they had the Enterprise go out and the captain was Alan Ruck, the sidekick from Ferris Bueller,
Yeah,
kind of hard to take him seriously.
yeah, exactly.
I feel like complete shit, Ferris.
I'll go.
Yeah.
He'll keep calling.
I'll keep calling. Very good. I still like that theory that was all Ferris Bueller was a dream of his.
Oh, good one.
So, because there's no way they would have had time to do all that stuff. I've been to Chicago.
Takes way too long.
It takes way too long to get to all those places. Not as long as L.A. trying to get a donut and a burger, but you know,
And a Shakey's Pizza.
and a Shakey's
Shakey's
pizza.
Pizza.
And
What a
glazed
day that
donut
would be.
to go.
Breakfast, you go to the donut place. Lunch, it would take you from breakfast to lunch to get to the.
Which
To
one
the
is it?
burger
Randy's
place.
Donuts? Is that the big one? Is that the famous one, Lance?
That's a
Randy's
famous one
Donuts?
by the airport. Yeah.
Yeah, with the big donut where Iron Man sat.
Yes.
Yeah, the big donut.
I want to go to Stan Makita's Donuts.
Who shot first, Kirk or Picard? I still love
Good one.
one of my favorite interview things lately is when somebody was interviewing Harrison Ford and they did this stupid move and said, "So who shot first, you or Greedo?" And he just goes, "I don't care." This is like, yes, I love that. I don't care.
Well, in Raiders, it was Harrison Ford because the other guy just sitting there with the sword.
That's right. That's right. Don't carry pointy things if you don't want people with guns to shoot you.
Yes.
You brought a sword to a gunfight? What an idiot! Sorry, it was like a like a scimitar. What is that?
Yeah.
So anyway,
So
Wow, Next Generation was on for 7 seasons
Yes.
before the first movie.
I don't know if it's that long.
Looking at Wikipedia, it says following 7 seasons of Next Generation, the Star Trek film was the first to feature the crew of the Enterprise D.
Jeff, do you think you could make it through 7 seasons or at least 2 episodes?
Oh yeah. I've never sat down and watched Next Generation, but I've seen several episodes here and there, and I do like it. I'm gonna make it. My goal is to surpass the Frasier reboot in episodes watched over the original Frasier.
You're gonna be able to do that like during your lunch break on the first day.
Exactly. That's coming up, isn't it? In October, the reboot.
It's coming up.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's coming up.
Paramount Plus, right?
Yes.
It's supposed to be. Yep.
So let me ask you guys, because sometimes do you guys like to just get Blu-rays when you're collecting now, or do you get regular DVDs? If something is like extremely cheaper on a DVD, do you just buy it on DVD?
I
Like
haven't bought anything in so long. It's crazy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I haven't bought anything in a long time either.
Yeah. Well, you haven't had to. I've dropped off so many films you've never watched yet, I'm sure.
As soon as I get Frasier episode 3 in the book, I'll.
We're gonna have a show about that. You realize we're gonna have confetti and cake and everything when you get to that 3rd episode.
I like cake.
I know you do. So do I. And I like when you like cake, so I can have cake too.
And the thing is, I've got all the episodes now on Paramount Plus, so it's really easy for me to watch it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Name 3 movies in Jeff's kitchen that he's never watched.
Give me 300.
The reason that I asked that question is because, Lance, we were talking about the 1 through 10 movies, and it is out here on Blu-ray for $71, or you can get a used one on Blu-ray for $33, but there's probably some shipping on that. But then on DVD, you can get it all brand new Prime on DVD for $20, or used from $8.
What you got, Pete? The role-playing game.
I've had this since I was about 12.
Oh, Star Trek D&D.
Yeah, it's exactly what it is. Yeah.
Wow.
I don't know if I ever found anybody nerdy enough to play it with me, but I read all the books.
And then
Let's go, Pete. Let's play right now.
Here we go. It's a shift. I'll call
Wow.
school and tell them I won't be there.
I open it up through how long I spent since they open it. Look, it's a
Oh,
newspaper
wow.
clipping of Joe Montana winning the Super Bowl.
Joe Montana.
San Francisco 49ers quarterback Joe Montana reacts after completing a touchdown pass to Jerry Rice during the Super Bowl game against Denver Broncos Sunday in New Orleans. The 49ers won 55-10.
Wow.
I had no idea that was in there, and I got a receipt from some of my books when I was in University of New Brunswick.
Oh, is that an adult bookstore? Was that?
It is not. Oh,
That's where he first got the idea of sex tapes.
this is where I was
How-to
at too. The
books.
pictures of the different characters.
Oh,
and the
wow.
football stuff from the.
Hey, that's the
show.
first Klingon guy right there on the right, isn't it?
Yeah, that's right. Andorans and Edoans. The Gorn is there.
Gorn.
Oh, and of course you have to have your Orions right there,
Wow.
otherwise known as the Green Bitch.
Jeez.
Somehow we have a Star Trek movie show and we get a comment, sports talk football, Joe Montana.
That was a classic, man. That's a classic.
That's a great comment, Joey Vibes. It's beautiful.
Details on all the characters, all the crew.
Wow.
All right. The checkoff
Pretty
screenshot. We got to see bad hair day or what's going
Cool. Oh,
on.
here we go.
Yeah, we need to get a.
I can't even get to the screen. Can you see it?
Yep, there you
I think
go.
that's his classic hair, isn't
That's
it?
classic hair.
That is the classic hair.
Like they finally landed on a wig.
That was a good day.
That's the hard day's night look.
Putting on.
They're on your butt,
Holy cow! Look at this.
circling Uranus.
Operations manual.
Is this worth anything, Pete? It looks like this
I
would
was
be
going
worth
to
something.
say,
It's a lot of
Officer's manual.
stuff.
I have
in
no
this.
idea.
The gift that keeps on giving. You just keep.
I thought I went looking for it, and I actually found it. So
that's what I
I'll
told her.
haul that upstairs. Just to
This looks like it takes longer to set up than Mousetrap. And that's saying
like
something.
I said, I got it. I read all the books. What are you gonna do, right?
Longer
Yeah, who else
Try
you gonna
to
find to
get somebody
play?
else to read all the books. You can play a game.
You can get Mama C to play, Pete, right?
What year did they put that out?
I'll
Pete?
try the cat.
There's got to be like a copyright date on that.
Yeah,
right?
is there a copyright on there, buddy?
Somebody's
Somebody's selling one for $75 on
1983, but I mean, I got it before 1983, I think.
Well, how's that possible? Did you travel through time?
I was laughing about the Joe Montana reference. Here we go. You need a better mousetrap in television game. Oh.
Vintage, you're right. It says vintage from the 70s. So
Yeah, it's like, yeah, I have no idea how old it is. It's old.
it's some great artwork.
It looks really cool.
Yeah.
Then again, it's one of those games where probably nobody ever played it.
How silly is this though?
So
They've got this
so complicated.
this person selling it has the game and they're taking photos outside on the like their landscaping bricks with leaves all over the place. Yeah, just take it outside. That makes sense. I don't.
Well, here you go. PJ used to have a blueprint set.
Whoa.
Oh wow.
Jeez, that's pretty cool. That's PJ's new YouTube channel, Retro Mountain Gaming.
Hot diggity. Now we got to go there.
Mickey, Mike, Davey, and Chekhov. So the new Chekhov in the reboot, he was killed in a car crash, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah,
God,
he
it was
was.
terrible.
By
Right after they-
accident, his own car rolled over him when he was getting his mail, didn't it?
Yes, I
Oh
think
my
that's right.
God.
Yes. Trippy, right?
Oh.
That's
Yeah.
like Final Destination shit right there.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, that's some weird shit.
That was definitely his time, man.
Yeah, and
There-
they had just finished the movie. Is that right?
The third one,
Yeah,
because he's in the first three, right?
yeah. I mean, there was something about again the juxtaposition of one of the movies to his death. It was like they just finished it and dead, or something. Yeah, it's just weird.
Saboteur. I think that's what PJ has. These blueprints. I mean,
Yeah.
you talk about what a crazy life. The guy becomes a movie star. He's on new Star Trek, and then he gets run over by his own car while getting mail.
I mean, that's kind of crazy karma. I don't know.
And it was just bills.
Right? It's probably his health insurance bills.
Well, we've only got like 5 minutes left, so I don't think we're going to get through much more Star
Wow.
Trek.
This is like
3 more movies to do.
this is like my class today when I had 15 minutes left and all of a sudden it was gone.
First Contact. Anybody like Cromwell?
Um,
Yeah, I like the film. You know what? You know what's weird, Pete? I love that movie, and I watched it recently, and I really liked it. I would say I liked it a little bit less watching it this time. I don't know why.
Okay.
Did
But I
you?
still liked it. I mean, I still liked it though.
yeah, it had its slow moments, I thought.
I can't remember his name, but did you see the original series episode that has the actor, not the actor, but the character in it?
Which
No.
one?
Zephyrin something. The guy who invents warp drive, the Earth.
Zephyrin Cochrane.
Zephyrin Cochrane,
Wait,
exactly.
the characters in the TV show?
You're almost to it because you're about 6 shows behind me, and I've watched it.
We just watched the one
Zephyrin
today.
Cochrane in a original Star Trek episode. Yes.
Oh, that's cool. We just watched I'm Mud, which is one of the goofier episodes.
I'm Mud.
Well, of the 10, Rotten Tomatoes gives it the highest rating for First Contact at a 93%.
There you go.
Wow.
I liked it. I'd call it and Generations are my 2 favorite of these for sure. I found they were the most, I don't know. I just enjoyed them the most. It felt more like a traditional Star Trek movie to me.
Right. Right. Where it had like a workable plot, something that wasn't just an overblown
episode.
Right. Right.
But what about Insurrection? Lance, what did that get for Rotten Tomatoes? I'm curious.
55.
I was gonna say, I think that's one that I don't like that much.
And Nemesis got 38.
Wow.
38.
Really?
Yeah. I would call about right. Insurrection, I've had a hard time with the first half. It felt like a boring episode.
Now, I know we're skipping ahead on Nemesis and all these, but Nemesis had a budget of $60 million. It made 67.3.
Oh, wow.
Barely snuck in there.
Barely snuck in.
Another dollar store find with both of those movies in it.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
But again, bought it on DVD. I took the DVD.
I did buy. That was one I watched last because it wasn't on Paramount Plus until September 5th.
Oh, really?
Yeah, just go over everything is now on Paramount Plus.
That's cool.
But, Insurrection, the second half, I did kind of enjoy the second half of it, but it felt like a glorified Next Generation episode as opposed to a Star Trek show.
Mm-hmm.
And then this was about the same. And I don't know if I really even like this one that much, Nemesis, but it's my least favorite. And maybe right there with the one with what is it? Not Undiscovered Country.
Final Frontier.
Final Frontier. Right with
Holy
neck with that one for my least favorite of all 10.
Dude, that's like the worst team pick ever, right? You're like, why don't you go over there with Final Frontier? I think that's where you belong.
Well, and just note, First Contact and Insurrection were both directed by Jonathan Frakes.
Okay.
Riker.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's messed up.
What's going on with him anymore? What is he doing?
Conventions.
He's just doing conventions and whatnot. Yeah. He's not producing anything or whatever.
I don't know, but
like Sean Cassidy's a big into production now. So, where's Sean Cassidy anymore? Well, he's been behind the scenes making bunches of money, working production and stuff like that.
I think those guys make much money going from convention to convention.
Yes.
Really? Yes. Pete says, I do.
Depending on who they are and how much merchandise they have. I mean, some guys.
What about Eddie Munster? What do you think he's pulling in a year?
About as much as Jerry Mathers. He'd be on that same circuit.
They're having like a little war.
Yeah, I told a story before. I saw Jerry Mathers here in St. Louis. He had just written a book, and that new Leave It to Beaver just came out. So he was there, and I think Lumpy was there. A whole bunch of them were there.
Gee, Ward, I think you're a little rough on the Beaver last night.
Damn it, Pete.
I'm going to say it every time you bring it up, all right?
Joey, I was just talking about these just yesterday with one of my students. I was just talking about all the different kinds of Mego figures I had. And if they weren't so damned expensive, I'd buy a few of them as collectibles to put up, but I can't see doing $30. I mean, I used to pay $5.99 for these things, $8.99, but now they want $30 for a brand new Mego. And they were cool because did you guys ever have any Mego characters?
I had a lot of like action figure stuff when I was a kid. But I don't remember like brand. I know the Mego name now. I didn't know it back then though.
Okay. Well, yeah, everything else, pretty much all the superheroes and stuff, they'd have slip-on boots and stuff, and they'd have bare feet. Well, all the Star Trek guys had the bottom from the knee down was all a molded boot. It was black. So that whole last hinged area was just a boot. There's a boot this big. So anyway, there's a little Canadian
You
humor.
said a boot, yeah. You're
Yeah.
in the Papa Pete's territory.
So
I don't get it.
So, but they were cool, and you got the phaser, and they had a tricorder that went over the shoulder, and the pants were the short pants, and stuff. It was neat.
Did the phaser work?
It did. I accidentally killed a bird.
Excellent.
So
now you know it works. I guess that's about it, guys. It's about an hour and a half already.
Man, yeah, it was a great show. I know somebody said that. Retro said that. A great show tonight. Thank you. We appreciate that. It's always great to be here with you guys. It's great to be doing the Hammer Away again, and on the same day. It's so cool knowing that I get that done, and then I'm going to be hanging with you guys later. It's awesome. So
I'll be streaming tomorrow night as long as I have internet better than tonight. Because I cannot stream if it's as bad.
So what's
we'll
the
see.
Rotten Tomatoes rating on your internet tonight?
No, it's like a 5%. It's terrible.
It's like
It's really bad. I don't get it. Some nights I have like 30 megabits for upload, and I'm fine. And tonight it was like under 1. I don't get it.
I don't either.
And it's the same time. It's not like I'm testing it at 12 o'clock versus 7 to 8:30 here.
I don't get it. I don't get it.
It's stupid Spectrum. I want to dump them so fast.
Yeah.
Oh wow! Look, my upload speed now is it's in double digits.
They heard you. Quick, get it over there. Get it over. Get.
Well, actually, now it's falling fast. I'm doing a speed test. Not double digits after all. It ends up being a 6.4, which I can't stream a game on that.
So, Pete, we're expecting you to scan that game, that role-playing game, and send it to all of us.
We'll play it online. We'll stream it.
There you go. Send it to us. You can be our, what would you call it? Not a dungeon master, but you would be our universe master.
We'll put it to be a double header right after Papa Pete's streaming semen.
Pete's streaming semen.
Pete's streaming semen is given birth to.
Pete, you're guaranteed to get over 2,000 subs after that stream.
Unless he gets canceled. You never know. Keep it in your pants.
There it is.
There you go. What a
man.
sex warning that is. That's caution.
This is the first time we've had this mentioned all night.
Live long and prosper.
Yep.
Yeah, how's that happen? Well, I guess we had to wait till the end.
There you go, Pete.
There you go.
Well, that's one of the funny things in First Contact when the aliens first come down and they actually meet the humans, and that the alien does that, and then the humans just like, oh, okay, I'll just shake their hand. He gave up on that.
Be great if you went
thing as Mork from Orc. Yeah, isn't that just sideways?
No. Yeah.
Surprised the guys didn't do that when the Vulcans came down for the first time.
Oh, yeah.
All right, well, that does it, guys. We're out of here. We will see you later. Bar, thanks for joining.
Thanks for having me again, boys.
Lance,
thanks
you
for being here, Bar. That was fun, man. And Lance, thank you for all the info. That was brilliant.
Well done.
Otherwise, we would have just sat here.
You'd have been like, I don't know, when was that? That was like, I don't know. It probably got this kind of rating.
If only there was a way to know.
I got
We'd have
Google
all
here, but I
rating.
don't feel like typing it in.
Exactly. Hey, you could just do this, Pete. Computer.
Filter. Keyboard.
All right.
No, wait.
We're going to end on that last.